Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya. If you're stopping by for the first time, then welcome. I do hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you're not stopping by for the first time, welcome as always. Thank you for your support. Okay, now I haven't done this in a while where I've done a number of videos almost back to back of unboxings or reveals, what do you want to call them? Same thing. Essentially, what's happened is this year I made two surprising purchases of two luxury bags. By the time this video goes up, you should have seen the one that I purchased, that Chloe bag that I purchased at the end or Black Friday of 2023. Then you will have seen, I think if I have the correct order of the videos going up, you will have seen my Lilac Mulberry Mini Alexa go up. And now I'm going to share with you a totally different bag, and one that actually doesn't, it probably doesn't even suit my style, or is not the type of bag that I tend to go for, gravitate towards naturally, if that makes sense. But I saw this in one of the Facebook luxury Facebook groups, and I just messaged the seller, and I've worked with this seller before, and I just asked a couple of questions. This is a bag that requires some TLC. This, to me, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, I like the look of this bag. Different to what I usually have and what I usually carry, which tend to be these sort of like more structured, smaller type bags. But it needed some work. And so I messaged her about the condition of the leather. So I won't talk too much. I will show you the bag now. In my mind, this immediately was categorized as a project bag, and one that I would work on slowly, and then I would come to use as an almost everyday type of bag. So let me show you. Now, the dust bag is an eBay dust bag, so this tells me that perhaps she would have bought it from eBay, and obviously it would have been authenticated by eBay. But this bag that I picked up from her is a tote style bag, or no, it's actually not a tote, it's more like a hobo tote style bag. I don't know, you tell me what it is. But it is a brand that I don't have in my collection. It is a Valentino tote bag. Is this a tote? I think it's a tote. It's more like a tote sort of hobo style bag. It's quite slouchy. It's very, very, very soft and squishy. But it's a Valentino bag, and I don't have any Valentino in my collection. So I'll show you close up. Now, pardon the condition of my nails. I have been gardening for a few days straight, so they are not in good condition. Let's just ignore the nails. It is a beautiful, supple black leather. It feels like cowhide. It doesn't feel like sort of lambskin or anything like that. It is the Rockstud Tote, so it's got all the rock studs along the perimeter, the border on both sides. This side here has the Valentino Garavani logo. This side has that very typical rock stud clasp. I don't know what it's called. I'm not that familiar with the Valentino jargon and language, if I can say it that way. The inside is just, and hopefully I can show you, one open space, one open sort of cavity. There is a pocket inside. It has the Valentino fabric label attached to it. The zipper pull is just leather and just has stitching around the edges. Inside there is a little red envelope, very timely, and inside the little red envelope it just says Valentino Garavani, and it's just the care or the information little pamphlet. There's no receipt, there's nothing like that. The seller that I purchased from I trust, so I'm gonna assume it's authentic. I'm sure it is. Oh, here we go, there's more information. Hold please. So we have, this is purchased obviously from eBay, and this is the eBay authenticity information. So there we go. Authenticity guarantee. Valentino Rockstud. There's no model name. Here's to your new handbag. Just general information. So I'm going to go with the fact that this is an authentic piece, and she obviously must have purchased it from eBay, making use of the eBay authenticity program, or it must have been listed within their program. So on the other wall, which would be the side where the clasp fits in. There is a slip pocket in there, and essentially you see on the inside the backing of each of the Rockstud rivets or points, whatever you want to call it. It's a soft bag. I will look into purchasing either a base shaper or an insert so that it does give it a little bit more shape even to carry. The clasp works really well. One of the questions I asked of the seller was, you know, had the gold faded? Were there any sections where it was like faded away from gold to that, you know, that sort of worn away sort of silvery look? And she was very, very kind. She sent me videos and showed things up close. And no, it hasn't. The gold is in pretty much excellent condition all the way through. There is the typical Valentino clasp. The strap is not removable, but it is adjustable, and by the looks of it, it has multiple adjustable settings. You will have noticed already by now that the strap is what is in dire need of some TLC, but I knew that when I purchased it. Wait till you hear what I paid for this. So this strap has come apart in some sections like that, but my intention is to use some leather glue and to really work on this, and then once it's all been glued and sort of pressed together well, then I will buy some of the Fiberg's edging coat and I will sort of add some glazing myself. And given that the glazing essentially is black, it's perfectly fine. Now, I suppose I could go to Valentino and have them repair it and everything. Probably. I might go into the city one day and maybe just take it in and have it quoted to see what it would cost. But essentially, I know that this is something that I can work on myself. So the strap has the swivel function. Really, really interesting looking clasp feature. Fastening here, I suppose you would call it. There is stitching here where the strap has been looped through, folded over and stitched together, in addition to the Rockstud rivet being put through it. The buckle also has the Rockstuds on the sides, and obviously it's a functioning buckle, and obviously the other side mirrors the first side I showed you. In terms of adjustment holes, stacks. I don't know if extra holes have been added. This one looks like slightly different size, so it looks like it might have been added, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I think to myself, this is going to be a great bag. Now, as is, and I'll have photos here, this can sit as a nice shoulder bag. Of course, this will flap about quite a bit, but you could probably just like tuck it in like this. Yeah, smart thinking, 99. And just tuck it into the bag. Look at that. So you don't get all the flapperoonies happening. Yep, that's that. So this could function as a shoulder bag, a nice one. And because it's already got a little bit of wear and tear, not too much, I must admit, I'm happy to use this almost as an everyday bag. I don't really have an everyday bag. I don't use just one bag as a throw around everyday bag. I just use whatever I'm using at the time. Of course, I don't use like the Chanel everyday type of thing. Chanel and some of those bags tend to be the going out type bags. Although this year's intention is not to save these good things for special occasions. You really got to use your stuff so that you can justify the cost and everything. But let me drop this camera a little bit so I can show you what it looks like against me. So here we have the bag up against me like this. It's a nice shoulder bag. I've just fitted it now at like a midway point, but from where my thumb is to here, it is full of holes. Now, like I said, probably these have been added on. Maybe the extra holes have been added, but I don't care. Then you could turn it into crossbody. You could even make it longer, of course, because there are so many adjustments. So let me know what you think of this bag. Do you have a bag like this or this particular bag? If you do, what can you tell me about it? In all honesty, for the most part, it's in pretty good nick. Now, the seller had this listed in the Facebook group for $180. So as I said, I messaged her and I said, hey, you know, how's the leather? Leather is in good condition. I think there's two little dots. Yes, two little dots here on this side that indicate maybe it's been pressed up against something. Just one there and one there. You can see there. So it's probably been rested against something. Again, with conditioning and with some sort of like handling that I'm sure they'll smooth out. I will perhaps inquire as to what it would cost to replace the strap. Out of interest, I have no idea if this bag is still current. There is some here, the top of the bag, it's come apart again, but that's not something that some leather glue can't fix. And once the leather glue has sort of like set, then you wouldn't even see the split in the glazing. There's a little bit of cracking here in the glazing in the corners just there. That's near the straps, but again, that's bound to happen. So this was listed in the Facebook group for 180. I messaged her, asked some questions, and I just confirmed, and I said excuse me, and I said, oh, is that 180 posted? And without me even asking, she was so kind, she said, yes, happy to do it for 160. Sold, bargain, Valentino bag for 160 Australian dollars. Even with needing to put some TLC into it, it is still the bargain so far of the year, even more so than my Chloe. So let me know what you think about my latest bargain purchase. I look forward, as always, to reading your comments. Take care, everybody. God bless, and I'll see you next time. Ciao. So let me know what you think of this bag. If you have this one, what are your thoughts about it? What would you suggest about the strap? Replace it? Or just work on it and love it and use it?